Attention users, you are about to be digitized into the world of Tron. To enjoy the following video, all users should enjoy theme park fun facts, Easter eggs, and have a thirst for thrill. Welcome to the grid. Proceed to the games now for your Lightcycle run upload sequence. The wait is finally over. TRON Lightcycle run at Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom Park has finally arrived and is looking for new programs to enter the grid. With any new ride, there are of course hidden Easter eggs and secrets to discuss. And of course this high thrill attraction is no different. So without any further ado, let's dive into this one and see what we can find. We all should be aware by now that the new ride will open to the public on April 4th of this year. First teased to us on the Disney Park social accounts in a series of codes and messages like a player ranking screen on a video game. Many were busy guessing what it all could possibly mean. A day later, and we finally received the official date. But the opening might have a hidden meaning. 404. We all surf the web, right? By just you watching this very video, it's proof of that. Well, have you ever tried to access the internet and are greeted with an error message? Error 404. It was never explicitly announced if this was intentional or if the people at Disney HQ are in on the joke, but this has gotta be one of the best inside nods and something that your average guest won't even know or care about. After all, you are entering a digital world within the attraction, so this all just makes perfect sense. Many have already pointed out the ride's unique name, which differs from its sister attraction in Shanghai, TRON Lightcycle Run. It may seem normal on the surface, and nothing out of the ordinary. That is, until you give it more thought. Taking a look at the attraction's sign, you may notice a slash in front of the word run. But why? What significance does this have, if any at all? It may mean more than what you might think. Game programmers, in particular, may recognize its true meaning. When coding a video game, when complete, the individual programming said game would type on the coding software /run to signify that they have successfully completed the coding process and would like to test out their work and see the finished results. By far the most eye-catching centerpiece to the Tomorrowland expansion has gotta be the massive canopy that adorns the area, better known as the upload conduit. It sits overshadowing the entire concourse in front of TRON and is what sends riders into the grid. Many guests would point out that it massively alters the attraction at night with its unique lighting package that moves and animates with every ongoing Lightcycle train that passes by. The Imagineers planned this out so carefully in syncing with the ride to create an unforgettable experience. Over 1,200 lights were used in creating its design, all perfectly illuminated to give off its effect. Here's another factoid you might enjoy to hear. On every half hour, the canopy's color will alter from blue to orange to signify your rival opponent taking over the lead in the Lightcycle run. Now approaching the ride's entrance up the long ramp in the concourse, it's time to get in line at long last. Before entering the scan room, however, you must first pass by an odd-looking centerpiece overshadowing you as you enter. Fans of the film series may recognize this as the digitizer, or Shiva laser as it's referred to, that allows users to enter the grid in both TRON films, most notably when it's used on Sam Flynn in 2010's TRON Legacy. Here's another cool little detail. The blue lights on it pulsate whenever a Lightcycle train launches into the upload conduit, sending new programs into the digital frontier. Something to be on the lookout for. Now getting into a bit of the ride's story, let's start things out after the brief pre-show where guests are digitized into the world of TRON. As you round the corner on the balcony overlooking the launch segment, which catapults you up to 60 miles per hour, making this the fastest Disney coaster to date, take a moment to look on the back wall. You may notice an identity disc, one of the cool unique props used in the films. Well, if you remember from the end of Tron Legacy, Sam and Quora are able to escape the grid. In doing so, they set out to find a unique team of individuals to send regular civilians, such as yourself, into the games. They accomplished this by building 2 facilities, one in Shanghai and now one in Florida. This is where Sam's identity disc comes into play. When a train of light cycles are sitting on the launch track, preparing to be shot out into the upload conduit, the disc on the back wall will connect to the discs on the back of each rider's seat and send them directly into the video game world. TRON Lightcycle Run was a first for Disney in a lot of ways. One of the big reasons was its use of mandatory lockers. Given the nature of the Lightcycle ride vehicles, there isn't much space for your belongings on the actual ride. Thus, the Imagineers opted for the locker system we ended up getting. Not just any lockers, however. These are the same style ones you may see on the Velocicoaster just down the road at Universal. It's simple. You scan your Magic Band or park ticket on any of the free-to-use lockers that are illuminated in the color blue, put your stuff in, proceed to the ride, then pick up your belongings on the opposite side as you exit. It's that easy. Forgot your locker number? It's okay. There are several kiosks that'll help you remember. Just select your language of preference, scan your ticket, and there you go. Back in 2019, before Track began to be installed, Disney held a special opportunity for Magic Kingdom cast members at the time. They got the privilege of being able to sign one of the support columns that would eventually be installed at TRON Lightcycle Run. This single coaster support has over 4,500 signatures on it. Let me know if you were working at the park during the time and got the chance to sign it. In order to create the digital world of Tron, the Imagineers had to think outside the box. How can they physically transport guests into the grid? Their solution? Mirrors. Mirrors were the key to solving this problem. Throughout the entire indoor section of the ride, the walls are aligned with reflective panels to help expand the space, as well as create a few really cool illusions. One of my favorite is when the left side of your light cycle illuminates orange so it looks like a near head-on collision with your opponent, when in actuality, it's just your reflection that you see. The gravity box floor was also given special reflective paint to help add to the overall feel of being in a digital world. As just mentioned, Tron uses several state-of-the-art effects to trick your mind while speeding through the grid on an epic race against your opponent. One of the cool effects achieved here, such as the mirrors, can be seen through the energy gates you must pass through to come out on top. There are 8 total, all syncing up to your light cycle. You might also take note how each of the ones you must pass through are illuminated blue to match your team color. In order to help the space you are traveling in feel much larger than it actually is, Imagineers decided to add gates that would appear as though they belong to Team Orange, though they really don't. Right here you can see an orange energy gate belonging to your opponent, but in actuality, it belongs to you. Allow me to elaborate. As you swing around the corner in an upwards helix, that same orange energy gate will turn to blue as you pass through it. This was done to trick your mind a bit and make it feel like you are really on a race against a real rival. Tron Legacy opened in American theaters, grossing over $400 million in the box office. That said, there's no question why they thought about bringing such a popular intellectual property to Walt Disney World's most popular theme park. First, however, TRON Lightcycle Power Run would open at Shanghai Disneyland in 2016. Did you know, though, that the film was never released in China? That's right. The movie that the ride is based on was never released in the country it was built in. The average local visiting the park in China may have no connection whatsoever to the movie, but that doesn't seem to stop them from having a blast while riding. It still remains one of the most popular attractions in the park, ranking in some of the longest wait times day in and day out, regardless on the recognition that people may have with the characters or the story that the ride is telling. To them, It's just a really cool motorcycle ride through a video game world. Congratulations users! A champion performance and victory for Team Blue. This completes your upload sequence, and proves you have what it takes to compete in the games. We hope you enjoyed this episode of ParkTwister. If you're new around, please consider subscribing, and if you enjoyed the video, then go and hit that like button. To support us even farther, all affiliated links can be found in the description below. Alright, thanks for watching programs, we'll see you on the grid.